Okay, I have set the first video to render, so I am creating a pipeline of videos for you to see. I think I've made 4. Now this is going to be the 5th in one day, so this is a real test for me. Can I keep up with it? This is here it is. So after a few sort of technical difficulties, which there are a lot of around me, I've managed to get the sound file of Neil Mackay talking to Jamie Tucker of That's TV earlier today. It's a 6-minute clip, so let's just listen and see how he did.
A little bit about the petition that's ongoing.
Well, there's a team of people who are supporting the keeping open of Mill Road Bridge. There's a very tight team of people who are working very, very hard, and they've got a legal challenge going in on the activities that went on last year associated to closing the bridge to vehicles. So we have, I'm supporting them. I support them wholeheartedly. They're doing a fantastic job. The idea of closing what is a main conduit of business in the city of Cambridge is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, the very name Mill Road Bridge indicates it's a conduit of trade. There used to be a mill there, and they were coming up and down with large sacks of flour, etc., etc. If they were to close the bridge, they would effectively leave all of the businesses, the retailers and hard-working people in Mill Road, especially in the Broadway end of it, in a cul-de-sac, and effectively they would be starved of their lifeblood. The throughput of traffic, footfall, etc., which keeps those businesses going. It's an absolutely ludicrous idea. So.
Thank you very much, Neil. And my next question for you is, obviously there will be some people out there that supported the motion to close the bridge. How do you think this sort of whole process came around in the first place?
Well, the best way of answering that question is to suggest that people actually read this book, which is the most fantastic story about how the battle for Mill Road Bridge, actually, somewhat strangely, that photograph is actually from a Facebook post that I did way back, early part of last year, and it actually inspired the person who wrote this, Will Burnell, to actually get involved in the whole project of keeping the bridge open. He actually states that on the very first page. I'd suggest that these books are available. There's a second edition of them has come out, and they're available from Cantab Millennium, which is a computer shop on Mill Road. There's a couple of other places, Cut Price Carpets, and the Old Chemist Shop in Mill Road as well as Giles & Co., which is on Trinity Street, which is where Will Burnell, you get to even meet the author there. He might even sign you a copy. It's absolutely gripping, a fantastic story about how they have thwarted this plot to close the bridge for a whole load of spurious reasons about air quality and etc. etc. And people have become so entrenched in their views about this, and the area is polarised. They had what they called a consultation, but unfortunately didn't tell anybody they were doing it, except for the people who were primarily interested in keeping it open. So they had 1,700 people respond to a consultation where they didn't even go to the traders in Mill Road. So the whole thing is very badly based. And now they're rushing around saying, with placards saying 72% of the people wanted the bridge closed. But we know that's not true. And if you actually speak to people around Mill Road, there's not anywhere near that sort of level of support for this project. It's all based. They took the opportunity during COVID to close it on the basis, a very sensible basis, that they needed to create space for social distancing whilst people crossed the bridge. That was understandable. The bridge was then reopened as a result of a vote at the county council. It was a very close vote, but they reopened it. And then they held this so-called consultation and then voted to close it again on a very close vote. Basically, the whole thing is very, very badly thought through and would cut the lifeblood away from the businesses, which is basically what Mill Road has always thrived upon. So I support keeping the bridge open.
And Neil, it leads me nicely on to my last question for you. If anybody watching was also like you would support keeping the bridge open, what should they do?
Well, you can all sign up to a petition that's running online, which, have you got the link? Hopefully you can put the link up for signing up to that petition and get behind it. And don't believe these ludicrous figures that are being pushed around. 72% people want the bridge closed. Absolutely ludicrous. You go and ask people around and investigate for yourselves. You'll see that that's a load of bunkum.
Thank you very much. I will stop that there if you're happy.
Yeah, sure. Is it possible you could send me that?
There you go. That's the sound clip. That's the sound clip of Neil Mackay talking to That's TV in a segment which is due to go out on Monday. So yeah, make of that what you will. It's a talking point. I have a feeling there's a point in there which he mentioned, which the sort of the opposition or our detractors are going to pounce upon, and because they've pounced on me subsequent to the release of the book, and I will devote an entire video to this topic because it is important. It's whether or not the Mill Road traders were or were not consulted in the consultation. And this is a point which has been flagged up now in the newspaper twice and on social media, and they're using this this new angle to discredit the work of the book and of the Friends of Mill Road Bridge in general. So we're going to explore in a subsequent video to what extent were the Mill Road traders consulted, what does it mean to be consulted, and in what form does a consultation take, because it is a bit confusing, and even I have struggled to comprehend exactly what it means or has meant for people to be consulted in something, and even if they are consulted or not consulted, are they listened to? Does it matter? Does the council have to listen to the results of a consultation, or can they just throw them out and say, we consulted you but we disagree, we're going ahead with it anyway? So that is one of the main kind of cruxes of this debate, and the claim that has been put forward is that the Mill Road traders were essentially ignored or stricken from the record, or were not consulted on, while others were consulted on much more directly, in much more meaningful way, and the consultation was very biased and weighted in favour of closing the bridge before it was even conducted. This is one of the criticisms of it. Anyway, so for this video we'll leave it there with a great big thank you to Neil Mackay, our very first, and I have a feeling going to be a regular contributor to this channel. Neil's piece is going to go out on That's TV, which I think is a Freeview channel. I don't know. I don't have the TV. I don't watch telly. So anyway, there it is. He said his thoughts to Jamie Tucker. You are invited also to think and you know, understand things. If you want more information about the Mill Road saga, I suggest you read a copy of my book, because it's, as far as I've been able to see, the most comprehensive outlaying of the story as it is, the facts, the pros and cons. It's an ongoing debate. If you think it's full of bullshit, then tell me that, but you have to read it first. You have to read it in order to make up your mind. Don't zero in on one thing and be like, oh well, actually I think you'll find that technically the mill road traders were consulted because here's a video which shows them giving a presentation in 2020. Don't just do that, because there's a whole host of issues which I raise in the book which a lot of people are concerned with. Answer those. If you're going to answer one point, answer all the points. If you want to read it, read it. If you don't want to read it, don't read it. But you can't really make up your mind until you read it. Anyway, so that's Cr.24.5. 5 videos in one evening. What are you going to do with that? Until next time, folks, remember, like and subscribe and all that shit. Keep the conversation going. Reach out to me, talk to me. Don't be mean. I do have feelings. But overall, let's talk about Cambridge. That's a pretty nice sign-off, I have to say. The Cambridge Cracker. Let's talk about Cambridge. Or we need to talk about Cambridge. Ooh, it's going bad. It's going sour. Anyway, have fun. Have fun for all the rest of your time. Until next time, this is William Manel for Cambridge Cracker, signing out.
Final warning. Primary power offline in 10 seconds.